Alright guys, so welcome back to another episode of the YouTube. I think in the previous video I did mention this and the fact that this would probably be the next vlog. You join us in Derby. Well, we're actually not in Derby yet, but we will be in the next clip. We're in East Midlands Airport at the moment, getting in meal one of the day. It is 8:20. Jordy's making, well actually this isn't Jordy's debut in the vlogs. Yeah, main debut. He's co-starring over the next couple of days, but he has definitely been in some of my earlier vlogs on the channel as well. But yeah, we're over for a couple of days. It's Thursday morning and we actually fly back to Belfast on Monday, so we're here for a good bit. Obviously there's a couple of plans for the trip which I'll take you along for. We're over to train primarily at Be Modified and potentially Ultraflex Derby as well. We've got legs today, upper tomorrow, legs 2 on Sunday, and we're actually heading to Alton Towers on Saturday as well, which should be good crack. Plenty of steps. Needless to say, AJ has dropped the cardio out on Saturday morning as a result, so definitely not going to complain about that. But yes guys, going to get this meal in, then go collect the hire car, and then probably pretty much head straight to Be Modified. We're not really in a massive rush as we can't check into the Airbnb until 3 o'clock anyway. Obviously need to get a food shop in as well between now and then, but yeah, obviously going to be a good trip. It'll be good for AJ to see me in person as well, and obviously yeah, I think we've kind of already made the decision as to whether we need to sort of keep digging or just maintain condition, but there's no substitute for obviously seeing somebody in the flesh. Pictures are great and all, but this will just be another good opportunity to solidify our approach at 3.5 weeks out. So yes guys, anyway, gonna get this into us and we'll catch up with you in the next clip. Alright guys, so we have made it to Be Modified, as you can probably tell, and I am sitting down to a bit of an earlier meal 2 of the day, which is again not my usual meal 2, but it is 50 grams of sushi rice and 300 grams of prawns with 5 grams of macadamia nut oil in there as well. But yeah, gonna get this in, probably give myself realistically like half an hour just to doss about, do some steps for digestion before we actually start training, because we've got legs, but just due to the nature of the trip, obviously meal timings and all of that have been thrown a little bit out of whack, and I really don't like training legs on just one meal. So hence why we have obviously made the decision to get this one in as well. What do you have?
Chicken and rice.
Chicken and rice for Jordy, who is obviously waiting on his as well. Yeah. Sitting peering through the microwave window like a gerbil.
Fucking starving.
Yeah.
No carbs.
No carbs. So far today he's turbo dieting. Yes guys, gonna get this in and then I'll probably try and record a good few sets from today's session. Upper tomorrow, I'll probably get in here as well, but I'm gonna try and obviously stick to my usual movements as much as possible here. At the same time though, I do want to use some different bits of kit. So I'm not married to using an Arsenal leg press if there's anything else that looks cool. But we'll have a look and see what the crack is and then take it from there. So yeah, obviously I'll catch up with you throughout the session. All right guys, so welcome to the voiceover for the session we got in yesterday now at Be Modified. I'm recording this on Friday morning, so we've got upper today. Legs yesterday, as I said in the vlog. This was a good session. Pretty much tried to match equipment as much to what I'm used to in the dock at home, but also still give myself the opportunity to try some new bits of kit. So definitely a good fun session. One thing, sort of the overarching take home though from this entire session, the stacks, the weights in Be Modified are so much heavier than home. Like this Cybex leg extension, we have one of these at home, and holy fuck guys, I went on tried to stack this like I do at home, and it was just, yeah, crazy how much heavier it was. Same with the Cybex single leg press we did towards the end of the session. But yeah, as well, for adductors, we used the Nautilus yesterday, and I was quite surprised how heavy it was too. But anyway, yes guys, getting into the session, starting things off with leg extensions. Of course, as I mentioned, the good old Cybex here with the hustler pad, just focusing more so in this back off set on just spending time in both portions of the movement, getting as much out of this set as possible, as it is the first exercise within this session. Trying as well to remind myself, you know, with 3 weeks out, I probably don't want to be taking any forced reps. So this session very much so was a smart one, and also just trying to be smart with, you know, having Jordy there and not having him push me through any ridiculous final reps or anything like that. So then, yeah, onto the lion leg curls. We used the Nautilus prone leg curl for this, which isn't a piece that I've used very much at all. I did like this, although I found that you really needed to use a yoga mat, or like if you had a block or something, either, you know, between your ankles and the pad, or where I've got it here, lying on top of it, just to obviously make sure you can get into that full lengthened portion of the movement, as it was, yeah, it didn't feel tremendous without that, I can't lie. But once I got a couple of warm-up sets under my belt and got on this piece, it did actually begin to feel pretty good. So yeah, was happy with this. 2 good quality sets. Again, you know, really just focusing on stimulus now at this stage and trying not to do anything stupid. So yeah, I was happy with that. Then of course we have my cluster set on the adductor. I feel like this is the one session, to be honest, that you guys on YouTube have actually seen the most from me, which is quite funny. This Nautilus adductor, the stack wasn't that heavy. Like, I think it tops out at 91 kilos. Obviously at home we have the Atlantis, which is something ridiculous, like 140. But I think it's just to do with the fact that the backrest on this machine is obviously adjustable. So the further you can sit back on an adductor, the more challenging it actually is, and the more emphasis is placed on your actual adductors, funnily enough. So yeah, I had the backrest sitting at, it's probably like 45 degrees. Obviously I wasn't sitting fully flush against it. But yeah, this was good. You know, I think for the first set I got like 11, which is quite a bit shy of what I would usually get. First set on this cluster, I'm usually aiming for about 15. And then the sets after that, I'll get around, you know, 6, 7, or 5 reps in the last one. So was happy enough with this. You know, again, whenever you're traveling, you're in different gyms, the training is, you know, your numbers, the logbook, it's not going to be super optimal. Yeah, B modified for me, really, really good setup. I actually think I would have preferred maybe to train upper in it though. Leg press wise, you know, I did mention in the clip prior to the session, I was hoping there would be an Arsenal or a decent 45 degree. The Cybex that's sitting opposite the Mark II squat press that we're using here, didn't really like the look of that, to be honest. So we ended up going with the Mark II squat press, which I haven't been on in a long time. I don't think Jordy had been on one for a long time either, and he really wasn't a fan of it. More so the handles, I think he said there. Those handles are fucking shit. So yeah, definitely didn't get the seal of approval from Jordy. He did 7 plates. I was gonna do 6.5, and then thinking about it, I was like, again, you know, this is one of those areas, like, I'm not in the off season, I'm on prep. If I get a bad set in, especially because I only do 1 set here, same with this and the hacks, the next exercise, if that 1 set goes poorly, it's gonna ruin my day. So, you know, with that in mind, it's one of those areas you're maybe best zooming out, being a little bit more mature and just thinking, look, you know, if we undershoot on the load a little bit here and get more reps, get a better set in, it's probably all that matters. So I went for 6 plates. I think I got 9 reps here, was happy enough with that, felt like a good set. big thing I am focusing on going into my leg press sets and hack sets now, really for the remainder of prep, is focusing on composure throughout, just remaining composed, not shitting myself and yanking the weight from A to B, hopefully not physically shitting myself either. Just focusing on totally controlling the weight and getting as much out of it on the quad as possible. So then, yeah, we had two choices of hack, the gym Leco or the Cybex. I asked AJ for his thoughts, you know, what's the best match for the prime? And honestly, he suggested using the Mark II Cybex and then using a reverse band. I was going to use the reverse band no matter what, just because obviously, look, I don't have a great history with this machine. The last off season, whenever I was using this, I ended up just ruining my knees. So as much as it maybe is a dent to the ego, reverse band and a Cybex hack, again, it's one of those things where I need to zoom out and think, look mate, you know, you're 3.5 weeks out here. That's all that matters. Jordy obviously just kept the band on for that reason as well. So he went for 3 plates here, which was a solid set. He did bury himself quite a bit, to be fair. I dropped to 2.5, which, yeah, you know, again, I was thinking, look, like this is maybe a little bit below where I would have been with this piece before. But at the same time, I really didn't want my knees to kick the bucket here, because I've been getting on well with the prime hack, really have. And I want to keep using that piece. You know, I want to run the prime hack for sure throughout my off season, and knee health for me is something that is massive. You know, my knees were, honestly guys, I thought my knees were a goner about a year ago. So it's just about, you know, again, zooming out and remembering, look, like there's more than just shifting weight from A to B here, particularly for myself at this stage of prep. But felt like this was a good set, to be honest, you know, focusing again on keeping tension on the quad the whole way throughout the movement. Feet are literally as low as they can go on the platform. And yeah, you know, again, was pleased. I was quite surprised. I think I got 10 reps here myself. On the 9th though, I did pause for quite a bit because I knew I had more there. But I just wanted to make sure that Jordy would grab me out of the hole if it did get stuck, because again, I think I said here, I do think I said, look, you're going to need to help me because my knees feel like they're about to blast off into orbit. Yeah, I really, to be honest guys, I'm not a fan of the Cybex hack. I just don't, I don't know, I just don't seem to get on with it. My joints just, they're not best of friends with it. So yeah, that was kind of the win of the day, to be honest, to navigate. My sets in this feel good today, grand. So the knees, CBAM's knees will live to fight another day, and we'll get back on the prime at home next week. Not too many leg days left of prep now as well before we obviously first step on stage. Finishing off, instead of the usual hammer strength, we used this Cybex pin loaded leg press for the single leg work. Again, kind of undershot on this a bit. I went with 6 on the stack and got 14 reps. Again though, 14 really good, clean reps. Probably should have went up 1 on the stack and went for 7, but yeah, it is what it is. Like, at the end of the day, you know, these were safe. They were all pretty much identical throughout the set, and you know, I remained pretty composed throughout. So was happy with this as well. But again, this is another one, you know, I went and stuck half the stack on this thing, and then I did a warm-up set and thought, what the fuck's going on? In this gym, the stacks just felt so heavy. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's just we have really lightweight stacks at home, or yeah, be modified maybe, or just all about allowing their members to progress. But yeah, after this, we then obviously moved on to the boring stuff. So there's a set of calf press, which I just went with the typical Cybex seated sled calf press, which, you know, we have one of those at home as well, so it was a pretty good match. I do prefer a standing calf raise, I can't lie, but the standing variant that they had here and be modified just didn't look the best. So went with it. And then obviously the same knotless ab crunch we have at home. Again, the stack was just way heavier on that piece. So yeah, Had to take a dent to the ego and drop it down by one. But yeah, good session, guys. First impressions of the gym, quality setup, some really good bits of kit. It's a bit of a shame actually, because I'm gonna get upper in today in Ultraflex in Derby. I'm heading to meet AJ for a coffee here beforehand, and then we're getting upper in there so he can get a look at me after. I would have liked to have trained upper in here. There were some really nice pieces. The Mega Mass T-bar, you know, there's some really good bits of kit. So yeah, but no, a quality gym, really good atmosphere as well, and just really nice people. But yes, guys, that will do it for the voiceover for the session. Hopefully you've enjoyed this, and yeah, obviously we'll catch up in the next clip. All right, lads, so join me a couple of hours later. We have made it to the Airbnb, which is certainly, it's a certified pad, although, mate, I don't know what the crack is, but there was about 500 flies in it when we arrived here, so had to acquire some Raid to get rid of them. But yeah, anyway, we will give you the tour. Jordy is sitting here enjoying some YouTube. Well, he's about to be. Standard seating arrangement there, and kitchen, the usual. We've got all of the essentials. Of course, the entirety of my supplements also came over as I'm on prep. We have got the food shop in as well, which is good. A couple of guavas in the fridge there, and quite a few packs of Honduran specials from Marks and Spencer's. But yeah, pretty nice kitchen, to be fair. You know, everything we need there. Pretty standard, obviously dining area. Nice area to do some check-ins and some work there. And then we'll take you into my bedroom, which is, of course, where no magic will be happening. But yeah, obviously pretty standard bedroom setup. Nothing too exciting here. We have got the hallway and the first bathroom, which is grand. Although we did actually walk in here, and at first I thought, fuck, we've got no shower here, which would have been some crack. But thankfully we did discover the second shower, which was hidden in Geordie's room, which is pretty much carbon copy of my room. Thankfully both rooms have fans, as it's like the day after the solar eclipse today. So mate, it's like 38 degrees over here. It's crazy. And then yeah, the final bathroom, nothing too exciting. Obviously just, it actually has a shower, which is ideal, because to be honest, I think we both would have cried, especially given the weather and just the fact we got that session in today. Jordy actually didn't even get a shower this morning because he was up so late. So yeah, no, we are pretty well set up here now. We've got the evening pretty much to chill, and then the POA for tomorrow, I am meeting AJ for a coffee pre-workout, which will be good, just to sort of chat, catch up a bit, as yeah, you know, the shows and all that kind of, it does allow you the opportunity to catch up with a coach and all the rest of it, but just with how fast paced the days can be, it is sometimes nice to just spend, you know, some time with your coach outside of that setting. So that'll be good. Go get that done, and then we're in for upper, and then yeah, hoping to obviously get some good content while we're here as well. I need to plan some reels this evening. I'm not sure what I'll record tomorrow. Saturday, obviously we're heading to Alton Towers, so I'm gonna definitely try bring the Osmo along for some of that, and then yeah, we'll just kind of see where it takes us after that. Hopefully I'll be able to get this vlog up on Sunday, maybe Monday, but definitely, you know, I'd say this vlog will end up on the channel before the video with Butcher, which we shot last weekend, which is obviously a bit more cinematic. Ross is editing it, but it is going to be very good. Very excited for that one to drop on the channel as well. But yes, guys, keep it locked. I will obviously update you as we go on here, and yeah, very excited for the next couple of days. Might not be, but you know, we'll just ramble for an hour anyway. All right, guys. So you join us on Saturday, the next day from the previous clips, and we've made it to Alton Towers. If you can't tell from the goofy soundtracks. But yeah, no, just to follow up on the previous clips, obviously met up with AJ yesterday, got a look at me in person, and yeah, I think overall we're just really happy, to be honest, with where I'm at. There's not too much else to say. I honestly thought we would maybe be coming out of this trip thinking we might be digging when we get back for the next 2 weeks prior to obviously peak week, but no, we've pretty much solidified now. Fat loss is wrapped up, and we'll just be cruising into the shows. So yeah, really good session yesterday in Ultraflex Derby as well. Didn't vlog any of it on the Osmo, but I did make sure obviously to get some clips for Instagram. We're here for a good day today. Jordy, excited?
Yep.
He's losing his Alton Towers virginity. I've been here I don't know how many times. Used to come here pretty much, to be honest, every summer with my family growing up, so I do know the place like the back of my hand, which definitely comes in handy because we have, I suppose I might as well get it in video for the money it cost me. We'll have the gold fast tracks secured, so it's going to be a good day. No real waiting around in queues for 90 minutes. Given that I know the layout pretty well and I know the monorail stations and sky rides, yeah, it'll just be super advantageous for obviously trying to keep activity low-ish, because obviously, yes, I do have in the back of my head here, Saturday's usually meant to be D output for me. It's definitely not going to be today. There'll be plenty of steps and plenty of adrenaline and excitement as well. But yeah, we'll probably catch up with you at a few points throughout the day. We'll probably give a few ride updates as well. Obviously, I already have my favourites, but Jordy won't. So yeah, we'll catch up with you at some stage after coming off. Probably the big 6, big 7 roller coasters here. See what ranks where in the Alton Towers coaster list for Jordy. Alright guys, so we are on the, I was about to say monorail, but we're on the sky ride at Alton Towers, on our way from, you can probably just see like the tip of the towers there and the gardens off to the right there. But yeah, we're on our way over to the Dark Forest after doing 2 rides on Nemesis and 1 on, I was going to call it Air, but it's called Galactica now. Jordy?
Yeah.
What are the thoughts so far?
Nemesis definitely takes it. The other one, Galactica, it was alright at like the start, and then it sort of died down a good bit. But nah, Nemesis definitely the one. Definitely enjoying it so far anyway.
Yeah. So no, to be fair, like I think the £125 fast tracks have already been worth the money with the amount of queue we just skipped, and as well, like Nemesis literally broke down. It was 60 minutes and then broke down, and we were literally straight on. So yeah, we're heading over to the Dark Forest here, which is where Rita and 13 are. Yeah, hopefully we'll get on both of these a good few times, and then we'll update the ride ratings, but I wouldn't be surprised if Nemesis is very high on Jordy's list by the end of the day. It's between it or the Smiler always for those two for me. You're like struggling to decide which one to go back to before the very end.
I feel like now that Veneer should have left it near the end and done the other ones first, because it feels like the rest of them are just going to be disappointed.
Nah, they're all good in their own right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Galactica is obviously a bit more about just that sensation of flying, and it's fairly fallen down my list over the years anyway. But yeah, we'll catch up with you after the next block of rides. I've got 2 meals in so far today, so probably need to think about getting another one in at some stage here as Rita goes off in the background. I never thought I would be in with a chance of meeting a creeper, but I suppose an iron golem with him as well. Bro's a way to fuck shit up. Alright lads, so you might be able to tell by the state of my hair, we've been on the Smiler and Oblivion once. Thoughts, Jordy? Where do they rank?
Nah, they were good. Still think my favourite would be Nemesis out of all of them. Nemesis, Smiler, and then that one, what was that one? Oblivion. And then Rita and then Galactica,
Yeah, pretty solid rating so far. For me, it's similar enough. I would just have top 3 would be Smiler, Nemesis, then Oblivion. So yeah, we've been on most of the big hitters, and it's 3 p.m. So we're sitting here getting meal number 3 of this high day in, which is badly needed. And I won't lie, lads, this is one of the days where I've ventured into the third monster of the day, because I do think it's going to be needed. We're sitting at pretty much 8k steps, which isn't bad, to be honest, given that we've ticked off the majority of the big rides at least once. Probably going to hit both of these once more, and then we'll head over to Wickerman and then 13 from there. But yeah, it's been good so far. Good way to spend a rest day, and as well a nice tactical adrenaline dump at 3 weeks out. Thank you. Alright guys, I was about to say good morning, but it's not morning for them. But yes, you join us the next day. Kind of wrapped up the filming in Alton Towers quite abruptly, as, to be honest, just wanted to get on as many rides as possible, get the use out of the day. We wrapped up the day with, I think, 16 rides in total each, so the fast tracks definitely paid out. Yeah, it seems like a no-brainer if you're going now. I think when we left off on the list, you had Nemesis first, the Smiler second, Oblivion third, Rita in fourth, and then Galactica, because that's all we'd been on. Yeah, so you've got Wickerman 13 to add in. So
pressure. Yeah, no, I'd definitely say Nemesis is still first. And I remember saying to you actually at the end, I was like, oh, it doesn't feel as good after being on the Smiler. But then we actually got on the very front row, and I was like, nah, it's still up there. So Nemesis, Smiler, Oblivion, Rita, Wickerman, 13 Galactica. Yeah, I think something in around there. I don't really care about the last couple of ones. Like they were good, but like I wouldn't. They're all on the same sort of level anyway. But no, definitely the top 3, 4. Are the good ones. I managed to sneak on Rita quite quick as well before we left.
I did.
Which was good. Because that was the one we were actually waiting in the line longest.
Yeah, I feel like that was like good karma, because we were in the queue for 13 and it broke down. Yeah. And we just sat there for a good hour probably. 'Cause it was the last one we needed to get on to tick off everything. The Minecraft stuff was quite funny as well. Like that was a nice little bonus. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, got to meet the Creeper and Golem.
Yeah, the Iron Golem, mate. Yeah. And they say never meet your heroes, but got to meet the SLDL specialist, Iron Golem. Thoughts on it overall? Good day?
No,
enjoyed.
Definitely good day. Definitely enjoyed it. It was actually good to do something else, because like obviously what me and Cameron do is just go to the gym all the time, work, and nothing really else. So it's actually good to break up the monotony of just work and going to the gym.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Half the time I end up seeing you is just in the gym.
Yeah, literally.
Know?
That's probably the only time me and Cameron will talk would be whenever we're in the gym or we're talking about you going to the gym today.
Yeah. What's your session like today? How's prep today? No, overall a really good day. I ended the day on 16k steps, which is, needless to say, a little bit more than I was targeting. So the POA for today is literally no step protocol. I'm meant to be on 7.5k on these D output high days anyway. But I woke up this morning at 76.9 kilos, which is actually it's not the lowest weigh in of this trip. The first day was a 76.5, so AJ is happy enough for me to just crack on with normal high day food. We fly back pretty early tomorrow morning. Yeah, POA for today. Get this edited, hopefully get it scheduled. Then we're going to get some reels filmed in Ultraflex Derby when we wrap up legs 2, which is my last session of the week. Excited for that one and to get back into Ultraflex, as we were obviously there on Friday and it is a very, very good setup. I'm not going to film that for this vlog though. We're just going to leave this one here. But yeah, it's been a great trip. I've really enjoyed it so far. Always good to get over to England as well. The environment over here is just different gravy in terms of, you know, how everybody approaches bodybuilding as well. Always good to shake up the environment too. At the same time though, I can't lie, I'm kind of looking forward to getting back home and back into routine from Monday onwards. Just because, like, being selfish, I know where I am. I'm 3 weeks out today from the first show of my season. I know there's a really good chance that things, you know, could go pretty well for me this season if things are managed correctly. And I'm just keen to try and realise that potential, you know, as much as possible and enjoying it all, you know. So yes, although I'm looking forward to getting home, back in routine, getting locked in and boxing off the rest of this prep before peak week, which is again mad. 2 weeks today. I'm definitely focused on obviously being present too and enjoying the rest of the trip.
But yeah, no, you're definitely a lot more present than last prep anyway.
Yeah.
So you are.
Yeah, I think Jordy's seen me at my worst last prep. In Seattle.
Yeah, totally different person. Didn't even want to go to the cinema.
Yeah, didn't want to go to the cinema on my birthday.
Yeah, and then we're at Alton Towers yesterday. Yeah. So stark contrast, but it's good to see. And then even as well, just for me, seeing him from last prep and to this one, it's, you know, a big change and stuff. So obviously what him and AJ are doing, it's working really, really well. Yeah. So it is. But yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed the trip as well. Like I said, it just breaks up the monotony, but I'm probably getting to the stage where it's like, all right, be nice to get home and get back into routine and stuff, you know.
100%. But yes, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed following it along, and it's been a bit of a different one. Obviously, a bit of bodybuilding in there and a bit of life stuff too, which is always what I want to showcase on the channel. But yes, obviously, if you've enjoyed, please drop a like, subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with more content. It's a very exciting couple of weeks coming up here. We've obviously got the training video with Matt still to drop, and we've got the show day vlogs to come and everything else ahead. We're at the business end now and just focused on making it count. But yes, guys, hope you've enjoyed. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you on the next one.